North and south of the tropical zone round the equator are vast areas of arid land. The country of Iran is in this region. This is the central plateau, 1,300 meters high. It's practically rainless. In summer it is very hot indeed in the daytime, but very cold at night. The winter is extremely cold. But people do live in this desert. This is a camp of nomads. These people live by tending animals. No crops can be grown, but there are some stunted plants. Animals can feed on these for a time, and when they've eaten everything they can find, the camp must be moved to another part of the desert. But animals and man must have water. Camp is always pitched near a stream which is fed by the surrounding mountains. For these people, the day begins before sunrise, while it's still cool. Later it'll become much too hot to work. Horses, donkeys, sheep and goats are driven out onto the desert to feed on the sparse vegetation. The women collect dried animal dung. This is valuable fuel for fires. Scraps of material which can be burned are collected too. The women also fetch water from the nearby stream. It's collected in goat skins. These nomads depend upon their animals for everything. To obtain other necessities, surplus animals are driven to market. Here they're bartered for wheat, rice, cloth and other necessities of life. By 11 in the morning, the sun is almost vertically overhead. It's now too hot to move about. Temperatures are above 40 centigrade, 100 Fahrenheit. Everybody rests in the shade of the tents. It's even too hot for the animals to graze. Many animals stand perfectly still. Others rest in the desert. Everything is quiet. With the approach of evening, the temperature starts to drop. Activity begins again. All the animals are driven to the stream in order to drink, and everybody helps in this operation. This is the opportunity for the women to wash clothes. In the very dry atmosphere, the clothes aren't wet for long. It is now time for the evening cooking fire to be prepared. Sticks and animal dung are used. For food, they rely mainly upon meat from their own animals. It's cut up and cooked over an open fire. Here a kebab is being prepared and cooked. This is a cooking method which has been devised in this part of the world. It's a very effective way of tenderizing meat which might otherwise be very tough. Wheat is also a staple food. Thin cakes of dough are rolled out over an upturned pan. They are baked over another upturned pan on the open fire. Piles of these are prepared one over the other, as we see here. Drinking water is very necessary, but is used sparingly. It's kept in the shade in the goatskin which was filled at the stream. As sunset approaches, the temperature drops. The night will be very cold. Campfires burn on to keep everybody warm. Although these people continue to live this hard nomadic life, in other parts of Iran are enormous changes. This is particularly so in the southwestern coastal region. Railways have been built across the desert in order to serve the great industrial developments which are taking place. This is the Trans-Iranian Railway, completed in 1938 between Teheran and the Persian Gulf. Beneath the desert, vast deposits of petroleum have been discovered. Oil wells have been sunk, refineries built. Iran is now one of the world's main suppliers of petroleum. Pipelines carry the oil to the coast, from where it's exported in huge tankers to all parts of the world. People here are living settled lives in an urban environment. This is Abadan, where there's a very large oil refinery. The standard of living of these Iranians is very much higher. They enjoy standards similar to those of people in highly developed industrial countries. Notice, however, how they keep the habits and traditions of their past. There are no chairs. The tablecloth is laid on the floor. Part of Iran was once Persia, an ancient and powerful empire in Southwest Asia. Teheran, the capital city of Iran, dates from the 13th century. During the last 40 years, it's developed into a busy modern city. Rainfall is greater here than on the central plateau, but these parts are not watered from Tehran's rain. This water is pumped from levels below the city, where rain from surrounding mountain slopes is collected. This irrigation is a sign of the prosperity being brought to Iran from its desert oil. Outside the city, irrigation schemes are also helping to increase the amount of land under cultivation.